Alright, so um, I was just talking about how Miley Cyrus could have done better by giving her 120 tacos to homeless people instead of first responders, because first responders have access to piping hot, wonderful food on a regular basis, especially if they're at a hospital. Um, it's not a knock on her. It's not saying she's doing something wrong. It's just that, there's a lot of people who usually go to homeless shelters who already get cruddy food, who go through the worst and now are experiencing even worse than the worst, while everyone experiences what it's like to be on their level of the worst because of social distancing and fear and a lack of love, unto which eventually leaves them feeling as though people are more selfish than selfless, even though in the act that she herself as an individual is variably creating, that structure doesn't sound relevant. But I think a lot of people here today are experiencing and seeing the selfishness inside of us, while also seeing a lot of good examples of how people are uh, rising above that as well, in a time where it's almost threatening to do so. But ultimately, what I'm trying to point out here is this. I did that and made that recording and made that point today. Now, I got a new ticket in a situation unlike I ever get, which is being inside the hospital into a position unto which I get access to that cafeteria as a recently undone hobo, based upon the variables into which I'm experiencing a rehab exactly similar to how I asked for. Were any of these things created at any time variably to my individual life? No. But walking down the hallway to the cafeteria, variably seeing how and where I got to these points of thought in which making a jesting joke about how those cafeterias could be stormed by anarchist occupiers in California because of how righteous their homeless people maintain their sustainable spirit within a circumstance which is usually very defeating and alleviates righteous thought from them and forces them into a sort of depression or submission to they themselves not be in a position to correct the societal and self-driven deficiencies or issues they have variously and holistically from many different perspectives. But here I am today, and I'm really happy I'm in a hospital cafeteria um, because they have cheap, good food. But how does this have anything to do with God? Who knows? But it does seem as though somehow, some way, bizarrely enough, serendipity, the law of serendipity, does suggest exactly that into which every Christian has always said. God knows who you are, what you're doing, how you were born, before you were born, and when your time comes, it will process into the ultimate unit of that into which God and you have profoundly been a part and a testament to the ultimate book of life. So, I don't know. I thought it was a neat thought.